timing in comics is very, very different than movies and television. It's very, very compressed. So you have a certain amount of panels in a page and a certain amount of words that you can have on a page, and then it's all in 20 pages or so. And both, since we did an offset, another comic for Revealer, it's just like a one-off that Aaron and I both contributed to. There was like multiple stories in there, and it was interesting. It was interesting to move from, you know, the screenwriting, which we very much know, to writing for a comic. And I quickly learned, like, oh my gosh, you have to, the economy needed in a comic is tenfold to what you have in a show or a movie. And that's still, you still have to have economy. So, you know, when you're moving from a comic to a show, you have to fill in a lot of blanks.
Gotcha.
You also have all these different restrictions. You know, in our show, you know, there's commercial breaks. So that's one thing. We have a certain amount of commercial breaks. We have a certain amount of time for each, you know, act that gets to that. And then we're limited by the time of the episode. So we're on cable. So we have to hit that 42 and a half minutes no matter what. So, you know, those restrictions tell you how you need to craft a story for maximum impact. And because of that, you sort of have to hit touchstones at a certain point within that. And in order to do that, you have to adjust and make changes. Like a comic, it just, you can't go from a 1-to-1 of points and story from this one thing to that other thing, as much as you'd love to. And, you know, and it's great in the first issue that we were able to do that, you know, in the pilot. But even then, we had to change it. We knew that we wanted to make that murder mystery stronger. And so we had to change the horse storyline, and we had to do all this stuff. So right away, you're maneuvering. And then that maneuvering makes the story is organic. The story tells you, and the characters tell you what the story is going to be. And a lot of what Aaron and I do in development is just try to listen and try to find what that is, to say, okay, what would this character do? What would they say? Where would they go next? What's the logical thing? And that takes you on the ride. You know, it's just as much the story taking you on that ride as it is you in your head putting it down on paper.
Yeah, once you've developed those characters, they're going to tell you a lot of where it is you need to go. And there's a lot of times that we talk about what was between the panels. And so that was a common discussion, you know, and that I really think that for Dana to get here, she should have had these interactions or this background or these things. And then for M to get where she wanted to get, like for a big thing we changed is we added all this backstory of M, you know, with the drug abuse and the OI and the brittle bone disease, which go hand in hand. And especially in mid 2000s, we also changed the time frame for when the comic takes place for a variety of reasons. And so all these things start to kind of there, but we knew that the first issue of the comic and then the pilot would be relatively paralleled. But that would also was to kind of lure in the comic readers to think, oh, this is just going to be, they could do 47 issues of this then, 47 episodes of this. And we knew that was not where it was going to go. And it was fun to set up, and we did this throughout the season, where we set up an expectation that it looks like it's going to go like the comic. And then we zig when you think we're going to zag. And then there's other times where it looks like we're not doing the comic, like the finale, and then it comes back around. You know, and so that was always fun to kind of set that up and to play with the expectations of the comic reader in conjunction with someone who's never read the comic and is only just watching the show.
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you.